Welcome back, Miss Caroline on Book 101 Review. And can you please introduce more about yourself that I miss?
Oh, thank you so much, Daniel, for having me. You've said everything very clearly. My book is about to be released in a week in Spanish, so that will be something that you can add for next time as an author.
Yes, please do come over and let's talk about it in Spanish, Miss Caroline. What do you think? Habla español.
Yeah, yes.
Yes, but today let's talk about your financial strategies helping working professionals escape debt, invest confidently, and build a generational wealth. For sure, this is line with the book that you are creating, right?
Correct.
Definitely. So you bring home a solid paycheck every 2 weeks. So why does it feel like you filing a bucket with hole in the bottom?
Unfortunately, nobody teaches about financial literacy when you're growing up. And once you start living in the workforce, it's set like an automatically reset every 2 weeks. And that's where the whole comes about. Once you have the knowledge and the strategy, you can actually reduce your time working in half or even shorter.
Mm, certainly, even shorter. If your if your car needed a major repair tomorrow, would you swap a card and hope for the best, or write a check and move on?
Yep.
So why is that?
Again, it's a culture issue where society wants you to work every day, forget about what issues are in the government because you're too busy trying to pay your own bills and getting into more debt as consumption and capitalism are, very strongly embedded into every community around the world, and any person wants the new iPhone. They want the new Beats. They want the newest thing, the new car, the everything they want without a strategic plan and without priorities. It's okay. Then if I want it now, I can get it now with a credit card, and that's
Mm-hmm.
where the debt cycle starts, and that's where you can't escape your job because you're still in that cycle where you're going to say, well, we'll hope for next year will be better. And yes, I'm working really hard at my job in order to get a raise. And unfortunately, in the last 20 years, corporate world is more into the greed
Mm-hmm.
about the corporate tops versus regular employees, middle management. And that's where I came from. I came from being middle management and noticing that revenue keeps pulling in and huge salaries go up in the top, but nothing in the middle nor the bottom. And our group workforce is hoping for the best, and we're giving that power to corporate CEOs, corporate management, and unfortunately, they don't have your best interest. The person that's going to fight for you and your interest is yourself. That's what I came about.
Very well said, Miss Carolyn. When you look at your debt balance, do you feel motivated to attack it or paralyzed by how long it's going to take?
And you referring to me with your question, Daniel?
In general, Miss Caroline.
Yes. I think our clients get more paralyzed than the energy of attacking because it's overwhelming. They see
Mm-hmm.
it as their own responsibility and their own capacity into eliminating the debt. And you have to detach of that personal denial and personal, um, I would say, they feel that they made a mistake, and they don't want to confront that mistake. Therefore, once they detach and see it as simple numbers, they're just numbers. We just need to restructure that debt, eliminate it,
Mm-hmm.
and move forward. But a lot of people get like skating in the same place, and they don't react to it, and they just keep doing the same thing over and over. And I always say, that Albert Einstein, you're going to keep doing the same thing over and over expecting a different outcome, then that is not sanity. You have to look for another way. And there's always different doors to allow you to do whatever you want in life, whatever it is. In my case, when I came passionate into eliminating my debt, um, I wanted to do it in a weekly basis in order to keep control of it. And also, controlling my mind, my consumption habits, and most of all, the impulse. You wake in the morning and you want a coffee, you have to choose. Either you spend $7 on a Starbucks coffee, or you make yourself one at home for cents. That
Mm-hmm.
impulse, you're the one controlling it. Nobody else will. To the contrary, you will have ads telling you, "Hey, stop here, stop there, get the new combo at the fast food restaurant, or send you a coupon for a chain restaurant." There's always going to be something wanting your money, and you have to have that control in your mind, in your mindset, what your goal is. My goal was eliminating that. Therefore, I always joke with my friends. I have a good friend of mine. Her name is Adriana. And when she was losing weight, she would say, the cookies aren't part of my life. I don't need them anymore. And I adapted her slang into, that is not part of my life because it's not going to get me closer to my goal. Therefore, when I make a choice, do I need something or do I want something? If I want it, how it's going to get me closer to my debt or my dream goal, and how it's going to get me farther. If it's going to get me farther, it's a no. It's a very simple no. But your mind has to be clear in your north.
Mm-hmm. Certainly. Yes, very well said, Miss Caroline. What's one monthly payment you wish you could eliminate forever, and what you do with the money instead?
I think the best option of a monthly payment is your car payment. A lot of people have this insecurity if they don't own a brand new car, they're
Mm.
gonna get they're gonna the car's gonna broke down into crumbs in the middle of the road, and they won't have anything else. And we're not in 1980s where we didn't have cell phones.
Uh-huh.
We didn't have so much technology that can help us skip different types of issues. And if you purchase a car, a used car, take it to a good mechanic for a tune up. I want you to check everything. I want to up to date it, whatever the cost is. It's always going to be cheaper than buying a new car. I remember when I came to the US, I bought a car for $1,500. It was a Gallant
Mm-hmm.
2006, and that car is still running. I donated it to one of my servers once I bought my first home. I
Mm-hmm.
recommend anyone, if they have a car payment, it is already um, they're already losing money. Why? Because once you take the car out of the dealership, it already depreciates 20%. Therefore,
Mm-hmm.
if you want to sell it, you're going to be losing money. This in the moment that you make the contract of that loan for that car. Plus, let's consider the interest, the debt in that car, where it could be 400, it could be 800, it could be $1,000 a month in a car
Mm-hmm.
payment, versus getting a 5-year-old car for maybe 8,000, 10,000. That car, if you tune it in, you save that monthly payment, and that money you put it into stocks and generate 20%. for every dollar.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, that mentality shift has to change where what are your priorities? Are your priorities just to show off who you are because you have a good job, because you want to impress everyone, you want to impress your family, but you're drowning in debt and you won't be able to grow financially. You'll be stuck and dependent into a job that you hate because of poor decisions. Therefore, my recommendation is um, get a used car, one that is not expensive, maybe 2,000, 3,000, 4,000. It really doesn't matter. It's only going to take you to point A to point B. And all that money you can put it into stocks and you could stop working in 3 years. It's very impressive. Now, that mentality has to be developed. And a lot of books help with that.
Very well said, Miss Caroline, and you need an applause for that. Totally, totally, Caroline. If we track every dollar you spent last month, how much would impress you?
I'm sorry, I didn't
Or
understand the last part. How much what?
how much will you retain for, well, buying stocks or whatever?
They're Budgets are a little tricky because people hate them. They don't want to see them, they don't want to do them. It's like a hassle. But if you're interested in getting out of debt, getting out of your job, or having financial independence, a budget is the key. Once you create the budget, it's not written in stone. You have to be realistic with what you like, what you want, and follow that into a thin line where you're happy and you're content, but you are already directing the money to where you want it to go. The first advice I always give my clients is you always have to pay yourself first,
Mm-hmm.
and that is your future self. So once you're doing your budget, you have to encounter 20% of your revenue, your part time jobs, your full time jobs, whatever income you receive, you're going to add all that up. And that 20% is what you're going to put on your stocks account while you eliminate your debt and you have leftover. If we are in a negative where the budget is negative, that means that you are spending more that you're generating. Then we have to work with a plan on how to make that extra income. Okay, so my job, which I was dependent on, is not bringing what I need because inflation comes in every month. The meat is more expensive, the gas is more expensive, um, everything, light is more expensive. Therefore, you
Yes.
have to work with inflation, your job, and your budget. If there is a positive, that's what we do. If there is a negative, then we have to look for other ways into generating that income. And it could be a lot of things. You can do babysitting, you could do different jobs that you are good at, and you can do them on the time that you have available when you're not working. It's just about planning and strategy. It's not like, oh, I need a better job or I need a higher paying job. What you need first is structure. Once you have that structure, you understand the budgeting, you understand the way your debt is going down. And once you start month by month lowering that debt, then we start teaching you how to invest it and how to keep consistently investing. Because the problem is, if you don't have a budget and you use your card and you swipe and swipe and swipe, you won't know where everything went. And maybe your kid wanted some chips at the gas station when you stop to get gas, and those chips took $2 of your potential growth. And I tell my clients, every dollar that you have, it's a soldier. You decide if your soldiers are going to be in your bank account and you're going to let them go, or you're going to put those soldiers to work for you and generate each one 20%. That is how you need to see your income coming in. Because yes, we have to pay the car, we have to pay the house, we have to pay for groceries. Yet you have to be more intuitive into your decision making with your money because it's so hard to get it once you're working, right? Why would you just give it away? Why we just don't start multiplying it?
Definitely, let's multiply our money. So, Miss Carolyn, if the stock market dropped 20% tomorrow, would you see an opportunity, or would fear make you to lose money by panicking?
Daniel, that is a great question because a lot of my clients are scared about the
Mm,
stock market lowering 20%. And actually, that is where we like roll our sleeves and like, okay, let's
have
start
fun.
shopping.
Yes.
And once we have once I tell them, now it's time to buy, they're like, but it's, everything is crashing, everything is going down. And I said, you are buying stocks at a 40% discount. That's how I see it. If there's a 20%, and usually there's a wiggle room of 20, then you're taking them in a great price. Therefore,
Mm-hmm.
it's a great opportunity for anyone. And remember, your stocks won't change if you don't withdraw it. So if the market goes down, just wait until it goes up again. It's
Mm-hmm.
um it's like a yo-yo effect. It goes up, it goes up, it goes down, it goes up, and you're gonna get your money. If it's in the stock market, the worth is through the stock account. Stocks like two, three stocks, four, five stocks, seven stocks, 100 stocks. Now, the moment you decide to withdraw that money, that is when you have to consider that the market is high. You never withdraw when it's in a 20% negative.
Yes. During the pandemic is the half sales. You should take that avail or opportunity.
That is
What is
correct.
this? What is scarier? Learning how to invest or reaching retirement age with nothing but social security to lean on?
That is an amazing question because both are scary. And people don't think that retirement is too close. Therefore, they don't prioritize it. It's like, oh, um, I'm 20, I'm 25, retirement is like at 60, 50, that's far away. I don't have to worry about that now. And reality is, I started my retirement curiosity because of a client of mine asked me and said, hey, so how's your retirement going? And I'm like, what? I'm 38. What are you talking about? And that person was the one who embedded in me a certain way of taking responsibility for my retirement. Because you're right, Social Security is something that we don't even know what is going to happen. But I'm going to tell you this. I remember when my parents got their Social Security and they were 59. And
Hmm.
now, when I see the numbers for when I get to retire, you want to know? It's
Yes,
totally
please.
different. Now they give you choices. If you want to
Mm-hmm.
retire at 62, it's half. You're going to
Uh,
live without half of the income. And if I want my full, it's my money, the one I put in. If I want that money, I need to wait until I'm 72. How am I going to enjoy life at 72?
yes.
It's not the same at 59 for sure, but we're leaving the money in the table because no one is responsible for politics. The majority of the people that vote on matters of the future, they're not even able to vote. Let's say, for example, new generations coming in to the marketplace, they don't have a say on the decisions that the government does. And one example, it's with Social Security. They want to eliminate it for them. And I know this like syllogistically or in a way like a snake coming in, hidden. Donald Trump offered, oh, what if we just give them $1,000 when they're born and that's it? Then they're responsible for it. because Social Security has been a more responsible problem for the government, as a lot of people got it. When, if you're disabled, you get it. You didn't need to put that X amount of money in it, and you still are going to get it because of situations and how the law works. But now they're seeing, wait, it's more the money that it's coming out versus the one coming in. And that was something also that inspired me into, getting financially free earlier, because I remember one time I checked my paycheck at my job, and I saw all these deductions, right? The Florida
Mm-hmm.
tax, my Medicaid, Medicare, Social Security, and there was one more line with a code. And I'm very curious. So I went online and I verified that code. And guess what? I was paying for the difference of the retirement of all these old folks that already retired, but inflation can hold up what they paid 40 years ago. Therefore, they were embedding it into the workforce now
Mm-hmm.
without our saying or our knowledge. And that was
Mm-hmm.
a slap on the face for me. I was like, excuse me? You're telling
Right.
me that I can barely make ends meet are paying for people I don't know their
Mm-hmm.
retirements? That doesn't make sense. But I don't have the power to do that because I'm not involved in the politics. I'm not involved in the laws. And everyone in the government, it's not 40, it's not 45, it's 70, 75, 78. And they're making decisions of my own future. That doesn't make sense. And I said, you know what? I'm sorry. I'm not doing it. And I jumped ship.
Mm-hmm.
Are you there? Hello? Daniel?
Apologies. Test mic, test mic. So, people, if you want to reach with or reach out to Miss Carolyn, the website is available of what I'm now on the screen. Is it the website is careerdominance.com or gmfreedominance.com. So if you want to reach Miss Carolyn, please do so. And I will provide the link at the bottom of our video. So, Miss Carolyn, I want to apologize. And let's do it again, okay? Can you not hear
Of
me?
course.
Yes. So, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes. Oh, okay. We want to apologize, people. So, Miss Carolyn, can you please invite our listeners to support your upcoming book?
Of course. If you speak Spanish, the book's title is El Método Libre, La Ruta Corta entre tus deudas y tu primer millón. It's releasing in 2 weeks through Amazon, so be available to find it. And soon it's going to be in English as well in a couple of months, where I teach the 5 steps into
Caroline, I have one more question.
Go ahead.
When you picture generational wealth, do you see a big house, a nice cars, or do you see freedom, option, and security for people you will never meet?
The second option for sure. It's
Mm-hmm.
you have the opportunity of having choices to do whatever you like in life instead of being hooked up into a 9 to 5 and responsible to make the government depend, into your own retirement.
Definitely. So, Miss Caroline, can we do this again for another episode? Book again for
Of course.
another time slot because our episode is not that good enough. So, can you please invite again our listeners to support your business, your
Of course.
advocacy, or whatever you want to promote on Book 101?
Yes, my website is cmfreedomfinance.com. We can reach out into a free consultation. And my phone number is 786-218-1615 for anyone that wants direction and assistance.
Yes, people. Yes, people, let's support Miss Caroline because if you support her, for sure, more and more empowering business to rise. So, Miss Caroline, thank you so much for your time.
Bye now.
More to come, people. See you soon.